Hey guys, it's Walt. Welcome back to another episode of Monster Hunter Portable 3rd. In this episode, we're going to tackle a Barroth. Make sure I actually rest in hot spring. I did. I feel so accomplished for remembering basic hunting duties. Alright. Let me make sure I actually have my healing items. Yay, I do. So let's tackle the mud puppy. Takes place in the desert, so this is also a new fighting place for us. Well, wait, we fought Great Jaggy here. Does that even count? Like, does that really even count? Okay. So Barroth starts in 3, pretty much every time you fight him. The cutscene's in 3, he's in 3. I mean, notice I did say Mud Puppy, and he's located in the most brown area in the map. That we haven't been to yet, I don't think. Let's see, they did give us cool drinks. Yay, that's good. Let's go say hi to him. Alrighty then. Barroth is a brute wyvern, not a bird wyvern like Great Jaggy was, even though he has a very similar body. Where the fuck do you think? Okay. I swear, anytime I try to introduce a monster, they do some weird stuff. Oh, and now you see me. Oh. Hey, Barroth. It's a brute wyvern. Not sure whether to call him non-elemental or ice elemental. His roars are loud enough to stun you, so that's fun. So, if Korpeko wasn't a real enough monster for you, Barroth definitely is. And MHTri, the game that started in, this guy was notorious for being difficult. They toned him down since that game, but he's still fairly challenging. Barroth packs size and speed that you have yet to really face at this point in the game. Not only that, he can also inflict a new Saz effect, where he basically covers you in mud, and you have very limited mobility. Not only that, but he can armor himself in mud, which raises his defense and changes his elemental weaknesses. When he's covered in mud, Barroth is weak to water. However, when you knock the mud off of him, he is weak to fire. Of course, there is a middle ground, which is ice. He is always somewhat weak to ice, so it is the most consistent element to bring to a Barroth fight. Barroth has 3 breaks. His head, which can be chipped off. His claws, which are just a normal break, and his tail, which can be severed. As a hammer user, I cannot sever the tail. However, chipping the head off should be a breeze. Now to get into his moveset. Jesus, am I only now getting into it? Well, Barroth is a highly aggressive monster, especially when enraged, and he takes a page out of Uldrum's book, although he does have a tail for his charge, and just likes to charge at you quite a lot. It's very fast, and it's definitely dodgeable, but it's fast. He has this move that will shake off mud at you. Get hit by any mud, and you'll be covered in mud, like I mentioned. It's really bad to be covered in mud, as you'd expect. He also has that hip check move that you kind of saw earlier, along with basic tail whip that every monster has, basically. Oh, I can finally catch my breath. Is that everything? I don't think that's everything. Oh no. So, as for shinies, this is actually important if you want to farm the farm. To harvest shinies from him, you have to break the mud off of his body, and sometimes he'll just drop a shiny on the ground. Good portion of the time, these shinies will be fertile mud, which, as you'd expect, would lead to pretty solid fertilizer. Please leave me alone, Barroth. I'd really appreciate that. Where did the shiny go? Also, shinies, I guess, disappear after a certain amount of time if not gathering them. It's unfortunate, but it's life, I guess. Monster... No. Icon words. Anyway. Barroth is the only monster in the series that has a breakable part that actually falls on the ground from his head. And I believe in just different from tail, honestly. Nothing else comes to mind when I think of, parts that come off the monster that you can carve. Now, if you forget to use a paintball in Barroth, if you watch when he's digging, you can see little puffs of smoke. And that usually indicates where he's going. Thankfully I paintballed him, as I've forgotten that I paintballed him. Good job, Walt. Oh. Catching a breath. It's always nice catching breath. Of course, as soon as I enter the area, I need another ration. Where are you going, guy? Another thing to mention about this guy, his head is armored, so if you're using pretty much any, like blade weapon, like sword, you will very likely bounce off his head. I guess this is a convenient monster to mention this with. There are different damage types in this game that are not elemental. That are physical. There's 3 different damage types in this game. Slicing, impact, which is what hammers are, and then shot type, which is what ranged weapons use. And of course, these 3 different damage types on monsters have different weak spots. Of course, generally the monsters have the same weak spot for all 3 damage types, but numbers can differ to where you don't bounce off the head with hammer on his head, but with a great sword you will. Of course, his weak point is actually his arms. His little baby T-Rex arms. So if you want to do a lot of damage, aim for that. The reason why I aim for the head is just for KOs. And because I don't think when I'm hitting him. Also, sorry I bumped the mic there. That's not going to sound pretty. High quality production value. Okay, man, we get it. You're like a spinning top. You don't have to emphasize that. But anyway, back in Tri, this guy gave me a lot of trouble since Tri was my first real Monster Hunter game. Of course he's lumping. As soon as I'm saying, oh yeah, this guy gave me a lot of trouble. Well, he did. And because like in Tri, you only had 3 monsters before Barroth, which were Great Jaggy, easy. Korapeko wasn't too bad if there wasn't a second monster. And Royal Ludroth isn't bad either. But Barroth and Tri, super fast. Like they lowered his speed in this game. And damage. Barroth and Tri was a monster. Or maybe I just sucked a lot back then. I don't remember. He's not a kind boy. Let's see, I'm gonna try to do this weird thing with Hammer where I get the golf swing on him, but not any other move. Because the golf swing on Hammer is the strongest move. And of course I missed the hands, but that's fine. Ooh. Yeah, I've always thought it was kind of weird how there's a little lump on the bottom of his tail with the mud. And when I was like younger, first playing Tri, I thought that was like his nutsack or something. Like, and then when I would break off the mud, it'd be like, oh, I just broke off his balls. Like I don't know why I thought that. Maybe it's because I was like 12 or 13 at the time, and anything resembling sex was funny to me. Which I guess I haven't changed much since then, but at least it's slightly changed. So that's a Barroth. Wasn't actually as bad as I was expecting, but he can be a challenge, honestly. He's not a pushover, like a lot of the monsters we fought up to this point. I don't think anyone really described this guy as a pushover, at least not in single player. Multiplayer, a lot of monsters are a pushover, but that's beside the point. Also, I need a mine, probably. Or bug gather in 4. Gotta be efficient with that time, you know? Only got so much of it. Oof. I don't think I got any fertile mud. That's actually unfortunate. Maybe I'll get some from quest rewards, so I can show how good it is. It actually does the same thing that the Wyvern Dung does, but it's more... You'll get from Barroth pretty reliably. So honestly, I forgot Wyvern Dung was even a thing in this game, so... Maybe I just had bad luck with dung gathering spots, but... Yeah, we got some fertile mud. Also, the name fertile mud's kinda sexual, because of the word fertile, but... You know. That's just my dirty mind thinking out loud. Alright. So we're gonna take a detour to the farm real quick to use some fertile mud. And of course, gather our other things. Never forget the other things. So you always need to stockpile items in this game. Like, honestly, stockpiling never ends. Also, this is the effect of Wyvern Dung and fertilizing your crops. You get, like, 3 times as much stuff. It's worth it. I need sleep herbs for a certain recipe that I'll use pretty soon, I think. Let's see, what to use. What to plant. Well, when in doubt, I can plant these variety seeds. I'm actually going to just save the for... Oh no, I said I was going to show it off. It does that. It's really good. It's really good fertilizer. Because it maxes out everything. So you'll get a bunch of items for just at the cost of 1 item. So that's always a good trade-off. Only problem is, fertile mod's exclusive to Barroth, so you'll have to fight him for it. But after a while, you can probably beat a low rank Barroth with like under 5 minutes with upgraded weapons and armor. Because armor skills play a good part in offensive capabilities. It's kind of weird thinking that a defensive piece would do that, but that's how Monster Hunter works, I guess. Let's just store all of our stuff. Oh, but I guess I don't have potions. Need to restock. There we go. So the Barroth armor. There it is. I thought it was going to be yellow colored since it's with the other yellow armor, but I guess it's not rare enough. Barroth armor is a bit more defensive than anything that we've seen so far. And it gives 3 positive skills and 1 negative skill. So the guard skill basically decreases the amount of stamina you use when you guard with shields. It's like sword and shield, lance, gun lance. Not to be confused with guard up, which allows you to block unblockable attacks, or at least some unblockable attacks. I don't believe that's the guard up skill's name. So it's probably the stamina reduction one. Stamina cost reduction one, not stamina reduction, because reducing your stamina is a negative. And of course, this armor further increases your defense with the defense skill. As for the negative skill, it gives negative to Constitution, meaning you spend more stamina to roll around. So this is definitely a set focused on guarding and not dodging. And then that last skill called KO. I wish that skill was better. Like, in concept, you think a skill that allows you to do more KO damage to monsters so you'll knock them out more often is amazing. The problem with this skill is the modifier it gives you times 1.1. That's not really worth your time. So glad they buffed it in World. So glad. I'm actually excited for that change. But that's beside the point. It's decent armor. It's an upgrade to the Arzuros armor, I think. Yeah, I'd say it's an upgrade to the Arzuros armor, especially if you're using a lance. And if not, you know, more defense. So if you're somehow still running the basic armor and you want a defensive armor set, definitely go with Barroth over Arzuros if you're, for whatever reason, don't have Arzuros at this point. If you have Arzuros at this point, you don't really need to upgrade. You're probably fine. So. Oh! Heh. You know, there are different skills for the Gunner set. Actually, that top skill, Normal Up for Gunners, is actually an amazing skill, and if you're gunning, I would definitely recommend the Barroth set. So what Normal Up does is it... Actually, cannot? Oh. Is it broken? Oh. You know, let me see if I can do it on the helmet. Yeah, I can. Alright, so Normal Up basically increases the power of normal shot and rapid shots. It's Gunner only skill. It's an amazing skill because it basically increases your damage by like 10%. Because you'll be using a lot of normal shots as Gunner, or if you're using a bow, I definitely recommend using rapid bows. So that's like 10% extra damage on every shot. That's pretty good. Pretty insane. Especially later on, because it is a 10%, not plus 10. So, you know, take a 200 damage bow, plus 10%, that's 220 damage. That's 20 damage increase. That's attack up large, right there. And bows go beyond 200 damage, so... Or they can. And if you have attack up large, it stacks with that, so it's like, oh... 220 damage? Now it's 242 damage. It's pretty good. As for precision, it's an okay skill. It's not bad. I actually haven't used it, so I don't actually know it. Watch it be amazing. But I haven't had any issues with bow gunshot accuracy. However, if you want to like be accurate with aim for weak points, may not be a bad thing to consider. Also, I totally forgot you could do the skill info thing. That would help explain things, wouldn't it? Yay. You learn something new every day, though. So how much money do I have? Can I hire a new slave? Because I will want these eventually. I guess we can get the legendary Pokemon Mew. Yeah, let's get Mew. So that's that. We didn't get a Monster Bone large. I swear. I like quit on that, honestly. So, next time on Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, we'll take on the rare Ludroth and end. Well, not really end Village 3-star, but, well, at least get the key quests out of the way. So I'll see you guys then.